Iron in Minecraft is one of the most important resources in the whole of the game. Once you've mined it and smelted it, it goes into almost everything you make. But it takes ages, so why not resort to your friendly neighbourhood golem? I'll show you how to make a great iron farm. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. And today, we're going to have a go at trying to bring together two popular farms. So you guys have been going on and on and on and on and on. Can you please do another iron farm? Can you do another iron farm? Can you do another iron farm? Well, yes, dear viewer, I can do you another iron farm, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit twisty, because today, we're going to do an iron farm that's not up in the air. It is in the ground, and also it doubles up as a zombie farm at the same time. So if you want stuff that you can get from zombies, hopefully we can create something that brings those two farms together in one go, and maybe even slap in a little bit of village breeding at the same time. So we've got villager breeder, we've got zombie farm, we've got iron farm, all in one go. I think this is quite ambitious, but let's have a crack. So this is the area that you need. The inner dot there that's in orange is 2x2. The middle ring there that is in blue is 18x18. And the outer ring that is in yellow is 26x26. And that's kind of the outside of what it is you're going to do. We are also going to dig a trench around that yellow one too, but that is the size that you're going to need to find in your world to be able to build this. Let's get on with it. Okay, so this has got a lot of optional blocks in it, but as a minimum you need 160 oak wood, doesn't have to be oak, but oak wood, 355 glass, 6 signs, 104 trapdoors, 4 chests, 8 hoppers, 64 wooden doors, 2 iron doors, about 200 slabs, that one's also a little bit variable, 2 buttons, 2 wooden pressure plates. It could be stone pressure plates if you want, that is not absolutely critical. 192 planks, 1120 dirt, 68 buckets of water, 2 buckets of lava, a load of light for the inside so as you don't get anything spawn inside, a hoe, wooden hoe, and a boatload of carrots. And that is it. We're going to work on the middle bit first, and what I want you to do is to dig out the 4 that you've got and basically dig down 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5. Now the reason you go on 5 is because you want to give yourself plenty of space. We're going to take out one layer here all the way along inside that entire row that of blue that we've got here, that 18x18. We're going to take out that whole row, so we need to make sure we've got plenty of room for this drop down. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to start to replace these blocks. So if we take out these blocks here, we want to basically get a 4x4 all the way down to the bottom. You can see that we've got a 4x4 all the way down to the bottom with a 2x2 opening at the top. Then get yourself the glass and build yourself up 3 high glass for now. And then you want to choose one of your walls that is going to be the front. So I'm going to choose this one as my front. So we're going to put 3 high there and there and there and there. So there we go. We've got a nice 3 high chamber going across there. Then we just build up this 4 like that, and that is basically the top, the roof if you like. And then what we're going to do, we're going to count 8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is 8 all the way to there. And we're going to replace this entire wall again with glass. The reason, it doesn't have to be glass at all. I just like glass because it gives you the ability to see exactly what you're looking at. And I just personally enjoy that just a little bit more. So we just fill this up with glass and we'll make ourselves a long kill chamber. There we go, that's quite good. And then we're going to get those 2 out there, those 2 out there, and those 2 out there. So I'm going to remove this glass because we want to go one further down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in here 2 chests, and we're going to tunnel around it because it doesn't matter, because we are actually going to come out further as well. So let's come back around in here, stick that back there, and put the glass back in. And we want to build the glass in and around there like that. We can put glass above the chest because it will still open when there is glass in it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our hopper, and we're going to shift click the hopper into the back of the chest, and shift click 2 more hoppers into the back of those hoppers. That is it for hoppers. That is all you need. And then we're going to get signs. We're going to put a sign on that wall, so that's the 2 high wall there, there and there, and we're going to stick another sign there and there. Now if you have a version of Minecraft that causes wooden signs to burn in lava, then you don't want to use signs here. What you can do is you can replace it for a trapdoor. So for example, you want to get yourself an iron trapdoor. Where's the iron trapdoor? There it is. Get yourself an iron trapdoor. You want to replace that for something that isn't glass, so the iron trapdoor can actually attach to it. And then on the other side of that stone block there, you want to attach a lever. That lever will then open up that trapdoor, which will allow access, and that's a much simpler and more fireproof way of doing it. However, the golems do sometimes pause a little bit at the trapdoors. They don't pass through them quite as well as they do signs. So if you are able to use signs, definitely I recommend that you do it. Then what we're going to do, we're just going to dig out the roof here, one more, because we want to be able to put in a top bit, if you like, a top roof in this area. So let's get some glass in there. We're going to keep the 2x2 open like that, and the rest of it we are going to fill up with glass like that. So we've got a really nice kill chamber there. We're not going to put anything else in it just yet, because we need to build around it. So what that's going to involve is just digging down to the other side of it. You can see there we're now level, and we're going to dig around the kill chamber. Now you could have done this before, but I find it's a lot easier to guide yourself when you aren't kind of trying to build your chamber at the same time. So once you've got your chamber built, it's a good idea to just cut all of this out. I'll be back when I have done it. So we've created a little cavey chamber that is 8 across this direction and 16 in this direction, so twice as long as it is wide. And at the back of the kill zone we've got 3 gap. So at the front of the kill zone, you can see in front of the chest you've got another 3 gap, and then we've made an exit. And the way we've done that is we've come forward 1, 2, 3, 4, then we've got stairs going up to the surface like that, and that allows us to have enough room outside of that circle and still place doors here, because what we want is we want to get ourselves a set of doors. Doesn't matter what doors, as long as you've got some doors there that block off that entrance, because we don't want anything getting in that does not belong. So let's go back upstairs here, and that means that we've got, look, plenty of room outside of that yellow square for us to be able to play around with getting things done. So now all I'm going to do, I'm going to come along, I'm just going to dig out the entirety of this circle here. But before I do that, we are going to have to, let's just replace that there so as I don't fall down. So we're going to dig out everything within the blue circle. I'll be back when I've done it. So we have finished digging out that centre bit, but what we've done is we've left in each corner a little 6x6 kind of diagonal triangle in each corner. So that's 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 across that way as well in each corner. And we have raised up, oh no, I don't like that, that offends mine eyes. Let's get that like that, that's better. And I've raised up this wall where the blue wall was. If you sneak, look, the blue wall's still under there, and it is all the way around using logs, because I feel some people, they use iron to build an iron farm, iron blocks. I think, well, if you've got enough iron blocks to build an iron farm, you probably don't need the iron farm, do you? The idea is to build this out of stuff that is relatively early game, so we're doing this out of wood, and we've got 2 high kind of from the bottom of the pit, if you like, from inside this spawning chamber, but on the outside it is only 1 high, and that ratio is actually quite important. We need this to be 2 and we need this to be 1, and that's how it's going to work. And then on these blocks here, we want to be getting our doors. This is where we're going to build in a village. Basically, these doors become a village as soon as they are validated, and they're validated by having a block placed either in front of them, kind of above or slightly to the side, which will then be able to see the sky. This is what's important. It's got to be able to see the sky, not light, but it has to be like the sun, and that then makes it a valid village, and that allows for one, villagers to actually breed because they need valid villages, and two, allows the golems to spawn, because if you haven't got a valid village with at least 10 villages in it, you're not going to get any golems spawning. In these corners we are going to build up a tower of logs just to continue that building, like that, and finally like that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to build around this yellow wall. Now you can do this however you want in terms of what blocks you're going to use to physically build this. I like the idea of using a bit of glowstone at this point. So what I do is I get the glowstone here, and I appreciate glowstone isn't early game, but we're going to get glowstone in the corners just to give the corners a bit of light, and that gives us, if you remember, this is 26 by 26, that gives us 24 space, which means that if we go every 3 blocks, we should find, I've stretched it out, haven't I? There we go. So 1, 2, I didn't manage to do that properly, so let's do that again. We'll try again, shall we? So let's get that in like that and that. I'm not going to edit that out because editing that out wouldn't be right. It's only fair to get the mistakes in there too. So we've got 1, 2, then the glowstone, 1, 2, then the glowstone, and just do that all the way to the end. And of course, that's not quite right, but you know what? I'll live with it. 1, 2, then the glowstone, 1, 2, then the glowstone. There we go. So we've got a ring of glowstone with that wall. Now this is the point you need to decide, do you want to replace the wall or don't you now? This might not have been wall for you, it could be something else. What I'm going to do, I'm going to replace it out with a different block, and then I'm going to build a glass wall that is 2 high all the way around, like that, 2 high all the way around, and I'll be back when I've done that. And it's going to look just a little bit like that when you've got that done. But what I do need to do is I need to put a little apology in here, because when I put a door in here, I was a wally, because you've got to put in a iron door, not a wooden door. If you put in a wooden door, it is going to interfere with your village, because it's going to create a slightly off-centre village, and then you could end up having golems spawning outside your drop zone, and that would be a bit of a nightmare. So no doors, remember, no doors within 65 blocks of the centre of this village, the centre of this village being here. So you don't want anything whatsoever in any direction 65 blocks. But what we've got here is an iron door with a button. Inside you've got a pressure plate so you can walk straight out again. Happy days there. So now what we're going to do is we are going to dig a channel. We're going to dig a channel all the way around the outside of this. And the reason we're going to do this is because this isn't just a iron farm, remember. This is also a farm that is going to collect zombies, should any zombies spawn nearby. So let's get a channel all the way around here, and this is going to allow us to collect these horrible dead flesh eaters, and be able to collect any of their drops. Now most of their drops, I grant you, is zombie flesh, but every now and again you do get some other stuff, and it also would allow you to collect them up live and kill them a lot and get some XP. So this is not just a villager farm, not just a zombie farm, but it is also an XP farm. Not the most efficient XP farm, but it is all right. So I'm going to finish making this trench, and I'll be back when I've done that. So we've made the trench all the way around, but we've left these 2 blocks here connected to the wall because we'll need them later, and we've got 2 deep on either side of those blocks, and we're going to do exactly the same trench round both sides. It's going to be a mirror of itself. So we've gone down 2, then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then we've gone down another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then every 7 we've gone down 1 more step like this all the way round to the back until we've got to this far. And if you imagine, that's not going to be there. So that's 7, then that's the drop. So you've got to go then 1, 2, 3, and then on 4 you go in 1, 2, and then drop down 1, 2, 3. Ignore the bit at the back there, I'll show you that in a minute. And that gives you 7 to here, right to here. Okay, so and you want to repeat that. I'm just going to pop that block back there for the time being and repeat that on the other side, because what that will give you is a nice flowing water channel. And then in here you can see your 1, 2, 3. You're going to get yourself coming on this side, because you would have dug down from your internal chamber one step. So this is on the inside, so we've not gone into the wall. This is the back row here, right in the middle. One step down, 2 wide, then another one, then another one, and then another one. And that should, if you've done the counting right, give you a shape that looks like this. This bottom row here, we're going to put in a concrete slab. Here, we're going to put a double chest. You don't need a double chest, you don't need anything more than that. And then in the back of the double chest, we are going to fit 1, 2, 3, 4 hoppers, all pointing in towards that chest. Then we're going to get some glass above the chest, there and there, there and there, and then we're going to get again 2 more concrete slabs there, and they're not concrete slabs at all, they're cobblestone slabs. So when you're in here you can reach stuff, but even baby zombies can't get you. And then what we're going to do, we're going to come around and back out of the farm, and then when you come here and get yourself a bucket of water on both sides, one in there and one in there, that water will follow this one on this side around, will flow all the way along and all the way along and all the way along right to the back, and you can see it does it on that side as well. And then if we just get rid of these 2 blocks that were there just to get in the way, it flows all the way along into and onto those hoppers there, which means anything that's on those hoppers, like a zombie, will stay on those hoppers and it won't be able to get back, because the water flow is going to push it in, and that's what we're looking for, the water flow to push it in. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put that like that, just to cut out a little bit of light, because if it's potentially, it's a very, very low chance, but potentially the light could kill the zombies, and you want to be the one that's killing the zombies. So let's just block that light off there really rather nicely. And then the last thing we want to do with this channel is we want to get ourselves some wooden trapdoors, and we want to put a trapdoor along the entirety of this bit here and close them. Now what that's going to do is that's going to make the zombies think that there's a flaw there, because zombies are just a little bit stupid. They're not the brightest zombie bulbs in the box, and as a result they see these trapdoors, irrelevant of them being open, and think, oh, I can walk on that and I can eat that lovely villager that's the other side of the glass that I can't reach, because again they're not very bright, and they just walk straight over the trapdoor that is obviously open and fall into the trench. And because it's into water, they actually don't get deaded, and they flow along the trench into your capture chamber, so you can bash them a lot with your sword, get some XP, get some whatever it is they drop. Maybe they'll drop something nice, but definitely the XP is what you're after. And they don't kill your zombies, kill your villagers anyway, because the villagers are behind this lovely protected glass. The villagers are laughing at the zombies because the zombies are stupid, and everybody's happy except for the zombie. So let's get this bit finished all the way around, and I'll be back when I'm done. So that's that all done now, but these doors are still not activated because they've not got any blocks on top of them that are visible. So we need to activate the doors, and at the same time we're going to create a second level, and that second level is what's key. And we're going to bring a block all the way along like this, and this is the block right here, this long wooden poley beam thing. This is the block that actually makes this entire system active, because it is activating these doors. These doors, once they've been seen by a villager, become a village. I mean, really simple. That just needs a door, a block in the right place on the door. And if you look at my video on how iron golems work, which I published a little while ago, you'll understand the logic behind that. It works quite well. So what we then want to do is we want to create a second level, and we're going to do that. I think I'm going to use stone, and we're just going to use create a platform that is exactly the same as the platform underneath here. This platform that's in grass at the moment, it doesn't matter, we're just going to leave it grass. I don't care, it don't matter, does it? It works perfectly well on grass. And we're going to come along this way, all the way along. You know what? I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. I'm going to actually have grass on the, well, dirt anyway, on here. Where's my dirt block? sometimes in life you change direction, and this is one of those times. So I'm going to have a dirt block rather than a stone block, because I just fancy it. No other reason than I just fancy it. So let's create this platform again above, exactly the same, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3 on each of these sides again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So let's finish this platform off and this second level, and then we'll get on with the clever bit. So there we've got the upper chamber. You notice we've not put doors in the upper chamber, we've just used wood, and that's because if you had doors here, it actually makes absolutely no difference whatsoever, so it's a lot cheaper just to use wooden planks. And I've put these spruce wood planks in the middle because technically the farm won't work without them. That's a lie. They are just because they please me. They are aesthetic, they are nothing else. If you want to put something else in there, you go for your life. I just like the look of it. The farm will work without them. Don't panic, it absolutely will work without them. It's true. That was a joke. It was a joke, people. For goodness sake, it was a joke. Right, on this row of wood here, we're going to come out just once with some spruce wood planks. Again, it doesn't have to be spruce wood. It does have to be an opaque block. And it's just going to give an overhang and ensure that the sun can see the block over these doors to make sure it is nice and active and doesn't stop the golems from spawning. Really important that you have an active block there, and just in case it decides that the block on top isn't good enough, I just like to put another row. And what it also does is aesthetically, again, it gives a little bit more shape to the build, because it just offends me just a little bit if it doesn't look a little bit shapely. And then on top of here we're going to put some spruce slabs all around the top here, and we're just going to make a nice looking roof. We're not going to completely fill it in just yet, but I'm going to show you the kind of thing that we're trying to achieve as we go around. So this is more design than for it to actually be functional, but for me design is really important. It has to look good as well as work well. This one works pretty well for a single village farm. Bear in mind this is a single village farm, it is not a multi-village farm like some of these massive Iron Phoenix jobbies, and it can be done anywhere. It doesn't even have to be in the spawn chunks. You don't need to reset it, you don't need to fiddle around with it, you don't have to take it for dinner with your gran. It just works. And then I'm going to row around this spruce with a bit of cobblestone slab, and I quite like it when you trim off your roof with a cobblestone slab. It just looks quite nice and adds for a different dimension and doesn't make it look too blocky, because I hate my builds to look blocky. And then get it all the way around there like this, and then on the inside of here, where's my other doobie hook plug on? There it is. On the inside of here we're coming up one, lose that, and coming up. No, that wasn't what I wanted, was it? Come on, there we go, thank you. And we're going to build 2 all the way around, so a row of 2 all the way around, because this is a row of 2, might be 2 separate slabs, but it's a row of 2, so this one also has to be a row of 2, otherwise it will offend my eyes completely. So 2 all the way around like this, going along. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be back when I've very nearly finished this roof and just left a hole in the middle, so I'll be back then. So there we've got the nice slopey roof. It goes up 2 all the way in, and then we're going to come inside because we want to get into this bottom chamber here, and we're going to stick 1 bucket of water in there, 1 bucket of water in there, 1 there, and 1 there, and that is going to see it's going to go water all the way in. That will stop mobs from being able to spawn in here for one, and golems can spawn in water, so it doesn't affect them. Same here, we want 1 there, 1 there, 1 over here, and 1 over here. Now obviously the light levels, again, irrelevant. The mobs will not be able to spawn in here, but the golems will. So that's exactly the chambers. Basically that's the chambers done, and this is the kill chamber here. So now before we close off, we want to be able to get this system working. So again, exactly the same way, we're going to put 1 bucket of water there, 1 bucket of water there. That means that when the golems fall through here, they fall into this water here, and that water then flows them along and flows them along like that. Happy days. And then what we need to do is have a kill zone. So I need to get myself some lava, because then we don't have to come back inside here again. And we're going to put in here, we're going to put a bucket of lava there and a bucket of lava there. And that creates a nice lava blade that will kill the golems when they come along. They go, oh, this is lovely, oh, lovely and warm. Oh no, my head is on fire and I am hurting. And that is how it works. And it kills them a lot. Very nice indeed. Right, so let's come back up and out. And out. There we go. So we're out. We've got plenty of room here for the golems to spawn. The golems won't spawn on these platforms because they're slightly too tall. But as soon as you come out, they spawn absolutely beautifully. So let's come. I can't find my way out. Where's it gone? There we go. And then we're just going to close it off because we don't need to go in there anymore. Now you've got a choice here. You can close it off with more plank like that, or if you'd like to just be able to peek inside, why not use a little bit of glass, which is quite nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And you've got a nice little glass cap on your building that you can have a little peek inside. I think that looks pretty good. Now the next bit is the bit that makes it properly work, and that is in here, so we'll crack on with that now. Now it is time to come inside this glass area. So here, and I've dug out a trench almost the entire length of each side, but not the corners, because the corners don't matter so much. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick a bucket of water into all of these, all the way along on all sides. Now these actually serve more than one purpose. It is not just about irrigating something, it is also a barrier, because what we don't want to happen is we don't want the villagers that are going to be playing around in this system here, we don't want them going in there. We don't want them going into these doors. So just to make absolutely sure that they can't get in, because if it was just land here, for example, they could just hop up and jump through the door. We put in a water barrier, and that water barrier stops absolutely 100% any chance of them being able to get in. And then what we're going to do is we are going to till the entirety of this land. Everything, every single little bit is going to get hoed. Now I'm using a wooden hoe because you know the rules of Minecraft is that you never ever waste your diamonds on a hoe. You want a wooden hoe, they are perfectly fine, it's all you ever need. It's crazy to have any other kind of material for your hoe, it is just wasteful. So we are going all the way along, and the outside you'll see that this land will then get quite beautifully irrigated, and we're going to plant it up with some stuff. And you can decide what it is you want to plant it up with, of course, it's entirely up to you, but my experience tells me that carrots are really good. So plant it up with carrots rather than wheat, which does work, and potatoes, which do work. I find carrots are actually the very best thing to plant up when you've got villager breeding to do, and villager sustenance, and just villagers generally to be quite happy. So let's just get ourselves a carrot. And let's get this thing all planted. There you have it. You have a completely planted system. Carrots everywhere. Now at this point, you want to be careful that you don't jump, because if you jump here, you are going to undo some of the good stuff you've just done. If you're not careful. There you go, you see, you not only do you unhoe the ground, but you also dig the carrot up. So let's get that carrot back in there. So to avoid the villagers from doing this, you put a roof on. And you put a roof on that is too high, which is the reason why we've got this system here that is too high. So let's just get that on. Now you could increase the water 3 high if you wanted to, but that's quite wasteful. You don't need to. All you need to do is just have this roof on here, because if you come underneath it, if you watch my recent crop farm, you'll know this too. It doesn't matter how much you jump whilst you're under here, you're not going to mess anything up, because you are too high, a villager is too high, and you can't jump if the gap is only too high. It just doesn't work, does it? So that's good. So we're going to go all the way around with this glass, making sure that it is too high all the way. And get rid of those corners that I put in there that are completely wasteful, and come all the way around on the outside, and then we'll do the same on the inside. And there you have it. So inside this system now, there is absolutely no way to mess up your crops by jumping. It's absolutely perfect, and that's what you want. So now we're going to come around, we're going to find the entrance bit. Now if you remember, the entrance bit was the bit where we didn't have a channel. It's a 2 wide bit where we didn't have a channel, and it's the only part of the system actually that causes, I don't know, the zombies might not fall into the drink. It's the only part, but that's okay, because as the villagers move, the zombies will move as well, and they'll fall off of there, so it is all good, not a problem. So in this system here, what you're going to be doing, this is the entrance that you're going to be pushing the villagers through into your system with. Now, you've got a number of different ways that you can get villagers into your system, and one of them is by bringing them in by minecart. Another one is by pushing them in yourself. Whatever the method is you're going to use, get yourself a minimum, and I mean a minimum, of 2 villagers in this system. I'm lucky enough to be in creative, which means I can find a villager egg. Which one's the villager egg? Where it is it? Spawn villager, and I can just spawn some in, which you could argue is a little bit cheaty, but for the sake of this particular tutorial, we're just going to spawn in a villager. There's one, and there's another one. Now, we've not got the type of villager that we wanted there, really, so I'm just going to get some carrots, and I'm going to lob carrots manically at them, because for them to be happy villagers, they want to have a number of their slots filled up with carrots. Now, in a perfect world, what we'd be doing here is we'd have brown coats, and brown coat is a farmer, and if you've got a farmer, that means that you can have the farmer basically give them their stuff. In fact, let's just get rid of all of it. There you go. Have them all. I'm feeling very generous. Have them all. You know you want to. Have them all. There you go. Go on. Have them all. Have them all. Have them all. Have them all. I like throwing them one at a time because it makes for a nice effect. I quite like it. There you go. Have them all. You greedy little villager. You're a Mr. Carrot Muncher. Okay. And they will, after a time, when they're in the mood, and it's not immediate, I grant you, it's not immediate, it is after a little while, they will breed up and make little baby villagers. And the little baby villagers will grow up into big villagers. And the big villagers will... Shall I give them some more carrots? Oh, look, they're looking at each other. There we go. See that loving? Look, they're getting some loving on. They're getting some loving on. This one definitely fancies that one. Oh, that one fancies him back. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about making a baby. No, they've obviously had a row. Maybe he left the oven on for too long. But you can see, that shows that they're happy and that they're willing to start making babies. So I'm just going to lob some more carrots at them, because maybe they've not got enough carrots. But actually, no, they had plenty of carrots because I just picked up all of the carrots that are in there. So anyway, I'm going to come back when we've had a little bit more breeding going on. I'm also going to lob a few other villagers in there as well. Now notice there, when I look, that's taught me, isn't it? There, now the villager stood on that bit. I spawned him too high and he landed, and as a result, he didn't want to know. So let's just give him some carrots as well. I was feeding you there, mate. Don't you wander off. That's a bit rude. There you go. Go on, have some carrots. You know you want them. You know you want them. Eat them all up there. There you go. Go on. One at a time as well. I like giving you one at a time because it keeps you interested. Yeah, you love those carrots, don't you? You want them. Okay, so there's carrots. He didn't want those carrots under behind. Oh, no, he picked them up in the end. That's awesome. So I'm just going to retill this bit here. Stick another carrot in, and that is ready to go. So I'll be back when we've got a load more villagers. So we've got loads of villagers sat in there now. Actually, we've got more than the inner doors will support, because villagers will breed when there is less than 35% of the number of doors rounded down. So that's how it works. It checks what is the population of the village, then it says, okay, how many doors have I got? Right, what is 1/3 approximately of that doors? That's how many villagers I can have. So the way to increase the number of villagers you got is to increase the number of doors you got. And I've put them on the outside, simply because that means that these villagers are now on the inner circumference, or inside the circumference of the village. It hasn't changed the centre of the village. The village is still inside here. The centre is straight down there. But what it has done is increase the number of doors. So 1/3 is now a lot more, which means I can have a lot more villagers. And we've already reached the capacity again. You can see none of them now are getting too loved up. I mean, I suppose it's possible if it does a check, they might have 1 or 2 more loved up ones, but ultimately that is the way it is. We do have, however, the ability to get the zombies going, and this is what I want to demonstrate to you now. Now, I appreciate it's daytime, so it will be alright if I spawn the zombies in, but I'm just going to demonstrate what it's like when the zombies hit. Look, they get quite intense wanting to get to those villagers, and they fall down into that area. So if there's ever a load of zombies, any zombie is going to be able to just chase itself in, and by the time it sees, obviously it'll be night time. These zombies are a little bit stupid, obviously they can't get through those doors, but all the other zombies got in through the doors, and I'm going to go and show you what's happening downstairs, because it's been flowing for a little while now. These things do take a little while to prime before the golems come through, but we have had some stuff coming in already. But I'm not looking at the stuff that's going in there at the moment. I am looking for the... Where's my sword? Yeah, I'll get rid of that village rig now. You can see here that all the zombies are under here. Okay, I did rather smack a lot of zombies in there. You wouldn't necessarily have this many zombies, but if you then give them a minute, you can smack them quite hard. They're all kind of moving around inside there. Give them a minute, keep hitting them, and the XP's coming, look, and the zombies are dying. The baby zombies are dying as well. Those poor baby children zombies are dying off. We're hitting them, and we're hitting them, and we keep hitting them, and we keep hitting them. Again, I put a lot of zombies in. So we've nearly got them all now. You can see the baby zombies can't get in. Oh, is that a chicken rider there? Have we got a... Yeah, look, there's a little chicken rider. There's a little baby zombie on a chicken. Can you see that? Oh, bless. Come on, little chicken boy. Come on, little chicken boy. You know you want to. Oh, the chicken's dead. Chicken's dead. Right, so let's get you then. Boom. You don't see many of those chicken riders, do you? Brilliant. That's awesome. There we go. And one more. Boom. That's done you. Right. Now, you don't often get a lot of good stuff, obviously, from zombies. But in this chest... We've just got, obviously, a feather and a chicken. We got an iron ingot in there. That's quite cool. Potato and a load of rotten flesh. So that was that. Then if we come up here, we can see what we've had so far. Now, this has been running, actually, for very nearly, I think about an hour and a half. And in here we have got, we've got nearly 2 full stacks of iron. It might be nearly 2 hours, actually. And a load of poppies, which is great. I'm quite happy about that. Look, 64.58. So that's... plenty. I mean, nearly 2 full stacks of iron in a little under 2 hours, which is brilliant, and some poppies so we can dye stuff red at the same time. Not too shabby. Out we go, up to the top, and that is that. Quite happy with that. One iron farm made out of wood, because most iron farms are made out of iron or something else, or some kind of stone or something like that. This is made out of wood, and it works just as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, stick them down in the comments below, but I would love to know if you've enjoyed the video. If you have, slap a little like button. You know you want to. It'll be great to see how many likes we can rack up on this particular one. And also, if you haven't done it already, you're very naughty, but I'll look forward to seeing you in my sub club when you hit that subscribe button, and I'll also look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.